Welcome to episode 109 of the Epilogue Lady podcast. My name is Bente and I'm coming to you from Vesterålen, northern Norway, where I live with my husband, my oldest son and 3 cats. You can find me on Instagram as Arctic Crafts, on Facebook as Arctic Crafts by Bente, and on Ravelry as Arctic Crafts 65. There is also a group for the podcast on Ravelry. And we have a make-along running at the moment, the Spooky Mal 2023. And I'll be talking a bit more about that in a minute. I also have a Ko-fi page where you can support me and the podcast. And back to the Spooky Mal. I had to finish my spiel so I didn't forget anything. And first of all, I hope that the ring light reflecting in my glasses is annoying me more than it's annoying you. Because I've tried out everything and nothing works. And I really need the light. And of course if I took off my glasses, it wouldn't be a problem. But I'm short-sighted and maybe that would even be a benefit because then I can't focus on the viewfinder. And then I maybe would be better at just looking into the camera. But again, I'm going to have to read stuff. And I have to keep it really close to my face. So I need the glasses. So again, hopefully it's annoying me more than it's annoying you. I promised you I was going to talk a little bit more about the make-along. I have started to put together the prices, as usual. I won't show you a lot of them until I'm going to draw them. Mostly because I have to pull together from different, some from stash, some from my price bin, because I haven't got a lot of stuff in my price bin at the moment. Thankfully, my good friend Sue in Canada has donated prices for the make-along. And I'm going to take a few bits and pieces from my stash, I think. I'm also going to show you one of the prices today as part of a show and tell because my bestie Sue in Canada sent me a spooky box and I'm going to show you that at the end of the podcast. And then I drew the winner this morning for the giveaway from my last episode, my birthday giveaway. And it's actually one of my Norwegian subscribers. And I sort of like that. Because I can't remember if a Norwegian subscriber has won a giveaway before. So Tina Skjeggestad, congratulations. You won the shawl that I showed you in that episode. So if you could please send me an email with your postal address. The reason why I'm asking you for an email is because when I'm going to ship this, Posten, the Norwegian mail office, insists on having the recipient's email address or phone number. So from now on, I think I'm going to ask winners of make-alongs to send me an email, because then I have your email, obviously, as the sender. Easiest way for me to get hold of your email. So that was the winner of the giveaway. Life stuff. It's turned cold. This morning when I got up, the ground was frosted. So we had a nice white cover on the ground, not snow, but frost. So I suppose, and we already had snow, but it didn't stay for more than a couple of days. And that's typical for the snow we get this time of year. We could easily not have any snow for Christmas, basically. Because most of the snow here comes in late January, February and March. That's when we get the most of our snow. So, but I like there to be a little bit of snow for Christmas. I grew up with a white Christmas, so to me, no snow for Christmas feels sort of weird. I put up my winter fairy lights in the living room. The reason why I'm calling them winter lights instead of Christmas lights is because I bought them to use them for Christmas lights. And one year they stayed up because I thought it's nice having some extra lights in the living room when it's so dark outside. So they stayed up until, I think, March or something. So last year I started hanging them up before Halloween because I was thinking October 1st, why not hang up the lights early October and call them winter lights? So that's what I did. So it's much more cozy and it's dark outside, so I light candles, we're drinking hot chocolate, and I'm knitting. And my knitting mojo is back with a vengeance because all I want to do is cast on sweaters. And that's not ideal because I have lots of socks I want to cast on. I'm going to cast on a pair of socks today with a yarn I'm going to show you. And as soon as I've shown it to you and edited this podcast and gotten that up on YouTube, I'm going to skein up that yarn and cast on a pair of socks. Even though I'm just started a really nice sweater for hubby, but he just got the sweater. And I managed to convince my son, the one that's living with us, that he absolutely needs a new knitted sweater. So he's next. I have a lot of sweaters. I have sweaters I want to cast on for myself, but I have a lot of sweaters. So that's why I'm knitting for them first. But speaking of knitting, I'm actually wearing something knitted. This is the stripy lacy boxy or something like that. As usual, everything is going to be on both on the screen and in the comments below, not the comments. Information. My brain isn't working today. You know what I mean. In the show notes below. And it's Locatelli, and I think it's something lacy boxy. And the yarn is Arctic Crafts 100% merino and Suri alpaca, and the colorway is stracciatella. So that's what I'm wearing. From now on I can wear my knitting when I'm recording, and I can actually start knitting, wearing my knitted sweaters indoors. So that's nice, because I have a wardrobe full of knitted sweaters. And late November we're getting a new wardrobe installed, and hopefully I get better ways of storing my sweaters by then. But I'm also going to go through my sweater collection and put those I don't wear for some reason away, and those I wear in the wardrobe. Maybe I'll do not exactly giveaways for sweaters, but maybe I'm going to try to sell some, because there are sweaters I've never worn and maybe worn once. And maybe I should stop talking and show you the FOs. The first finished object is a sweater that I knit for hubby, and it's the Corcra by Carol Feller, and it looks a bit disheveled, and that's because hubby has worn it every single day since I finished it. The yarn is Rauma Fivel, and I love knitting with this yarn. It's a really nice 100% Norwegian sheep's wool from Rauma, and Rauma is a good quality yarn. Everybody knows that. If I know lots of international stores sell Rauma, so if you can get hold of Rauma Fivel, I really recommend it. Did I mention it's a worsted? It's a worsted. I don't remember the colorway number off the top of my head, but again, it's the Corcra by Carol Feller. That's my first finished object. And my second finished object that I'm going to show you. And we're back. Suddenly my camera let me know that the memory card was full. So I'm not sure how far I got on the Lone Skein by Locatelli, but I think I was about to tell you that the yarn is stranded and the colorway is Popcorn Garland. It was a Christmas colorway, and I don't remember if it was last year's or the year before. I know that I've had it in my stash for some time, at least. And the only reason why I used that colorway, apart from the fact that I really love it, is that it was already caked up for a different project. And I'm sort of lazy. So that was the Lone Skein shawl. And I have one more FO to show you. And this is sort of an FO that I'm really proud of. This is the Quaker Yarnstretcher by Susan Ashcroft. And the reason why I'm so proud of it is that this is my own hand spun. The fiber is from Sweet Skein of mine and was a birthday present from Sue in Canada. And you can tell that it's my hand spun because it's thick and thin and sort of chunky in places and really, really thin in places. So, but I actually knitted something. I haven't decided what to use my first attempts for yet. Both because this was 150 grams of fiber, and I think on average this is a sport weight. On average, it's chunky in places and lacy in places, but on average a sport weight. So I had 150 grams of fiber, so I guess this is about maybe 450 meters of yarn. So I haven't got that much of my first two attempts. I had 100 grams of fiber to begin with. This is stuff I dyed myself, and I lost my train of thought. It's much more uneven than that, and I'm not sure what to use it for. I could do a corner-to-corner crochet, striped or something. We'll see. For the moment, it's tucked aside. I bought some more fiber. I'll show you that in show and tell, because I'm really enjoying spinning. I already finished off my coffee. By the way, this is a tumbler that Sue made for me. So I have my own merch for the podcast. So that was my FOs and a tangent, as usual. And then we have my whips. I'll show you the oldest first. I just picked it up again. It's been hibernating. Or not hibernating, but it's not been active, because I've been concentrating on doing spinning and knitting, the Yarnstretcher. So this is a pattern by Jennifer Steingass. It's called the Lightwood Cowl. And I have lots of ends. I really love this, and it's not supposed to go over your head like this, as you might think. It's supposed to be like this, and you graft it together when it's finished. I'm not sure though, because it says you needed 2 skeins of spin cycle for the contrast color, and I don't remember how many meters of the main color. Thing is, I started with 2 skeins of Chimera by River Knits, and it's the same yardage as the spin cycle. I'm not sure it's going to be long enough for a cowl. At least not one that's going, because it's not long enough to go around my neck that way. It's too long to be used this way. So, but again, I'm not a fan of wide cowls. If I knit a cowl, I want it to keep me warm. So I think I'm going to just keep going and hope that I at least double this, because then it goes around my neck and keeps me warm. So I'm just going to keep knitting, and hopefully I get it long enough. The yarn I'm using for my main color is Rauma, and this is their totråds gammelserie. So totråds means 2-ply, and I really love this color. So as I said, the contrast color is Chimera by River Knits, and it's a really good replacement for Spin Cycle. So that's the Lightwood Cowl by Jennifer Steingass. And because I cast on the sweater for hubby yesterday, I went to the local yarn store because I found this really nice sweater pattern online. And it's a Rauma pattern. And she sells both patterns and yarn. And I wanted to knit hubby another sweater in Fivel, so he can have something he can change between them, so he doesn't go to work every day this winter wearing the exact same sweater. Excuse me. And the pattern is a Bakkegenser. I'll put up a picture of what it looks like in the pattern. I went with different colors. I'm going to show you the bag it's in. It's from the spooky box I got from Sue, and I'm a bit obsessed with Nightmare Before Christmas, and the spooky box is themed. You'll find out. And this is also from the spooky box. As I said, it's themed. And this is the Bakkegenser by Rauma. The main color is the dark gray, and this is not a, you're supposed to fold this down, so it's a double neck. And there are 6 different pattern colors. And if you go to Ravelry, my project page on Ravelry, you can see the color codes for all of them. I see the camera is doing weird things to the colors. Sorry about that. I'm getting used to this camera, and it's really sensitive for adjusting to what I'm holding up in front of it. So I guess there's nothing I can do about it. So that's the Bakkegenser. I have, and there are more stuff on this that was part of the spooky box. The Progress Keeper was part of the spooky box. The stitch markers on the raglans were part of the spooky box. And as I said, if you go to my project page on Ravelry, you can find all the color codes, because I have the yarn balls in here, but it's going to be a chaos if I pull them out. So that's my active whips. I'm working on a couple of pairs of socks, but I haven't touched them for the last 2 weeks. So as usual, I'm only showing you my active whips. And that concludes the knitting part of the podcast, and now the rest of the podcast is going to be about me showing off all the goodies I got in the mail since the last time I recorded. Some of it I bought, and some of it are presents. We'll start with the stuff I bought first. As I mentioned last time, I've discovered a Norwegian fiber shop online, and I ordered 2 bats from them plus a Lucky Dip bag. And this is one of the bats. This is 100% merino, and it's 50 grams, and it's called Regnbueflak. rainbow bat. The bats are actually called flak in Norwegian. That's something I discovered when I looked up a Norwegian fiber shop. So that's one of them. And this is really seasonal because this is called hekseflak, which means witch's bat. And this is, as it says here, merino and a little bamboo plus some sari silk. So this is probably not the easiest for me to spin since I'm a beginner spinner, but I have to start somewhere. And it smells so nice and sheepy. So that's the witch's bat. And here we have, sorry about the crinkling, this is the lucky dip bag. And there are mystery fibers to me in here. Experienced spinners could probably tell me what kind of fibers these are. But what I'm planning on doing is just starting. I'm going to look at what order to spin them in. I'm going to spin these as a continuous single. It's 100 grams. I think it said it was 100 grams. It's either that or 50 grams. And I'm going to spin it as a continuous thread. And maybe because it's all these different colors, I'm going to add it to my corner-to-corner crochet blanket. Probably. The rainbow bat I'm going to also spin as a continuous thread, but color by color in the rainbow order, so I get the rainbow gradient. At least that's my plan. Maybe I'm not good enough at spinning to get that to work, but I'm going to try. So I plan on getting my wheel out this weekend. I haven't been spinning the last week, both because the last weekend my youngest son came to visit, and Wednesday this week hubby started his fall break, so he's been home. And then we're watching stuff we're streaming stuff, and I'm not used to watching stuff on television at the same time as I'm spinning yet. So that's why I've been knitting a lot. And I got this far on the sweater I cast on yesterday. But then again, my thumb is starting to object to the knitting. So that's why I'm planning on letting the sweater rest today and cast on a pair of socks instead, because I think the thicker needles are harder on my hands. So I'm realizing I'm looking into the viewfinder a lot today. Not meaning to. Now I'm going to show you. I'm going to start showing you the stuff that was in my spooky box. And the first thing I'm showing you are two skeins I bought that Sue sent me. As I mentioned earlier, because of the VAT and the and everything, it's really expensive for me to buy yarn from abroad. And Sue is my yarn mule when I buy yarn in Canada. And one of my favorite self-striping dyers is based in Canada, and it's Area 51. And these two are from Area 51, and these are 50 gram skeins, because that works for self-striping. I'm going to try something new this time, because I want to use the entire skeins. So I'm going to divide. I'm going to cast on this today or tomorrow. It's Don't Wake the Pumpkins, so it's a Halloween colorway or harvest colorway. And I'm going to split it into two, and hopefully I can get about the same stripes, because I'm not one of those people that don't mind if socks don't match. When it comes to self-striping, I want my socks to look the same. So I'm going to start at one end and when I have about 25 grams, I'm going to start the second ball, and I'm going to make sure the sequence is the same. And I think I'm going to use a black, or maybe an orange would be cooler. I'll see. I'm going to do them toe up so that I can use the entire skein, but I'm not going to use the heel I used on the other socks, the heel from the Soul Sister socks. Not sure what you call that heel, so I'm just saying it's the heel from the Soul Sister socks. I'm not used to knitting socks toe up, so I'm just going to use a normal German short row heel, because that works both toe up and cuff down. The other colorway is Murder on the Orient Express, and is from her Agatha Christie collection. And this is very much my colors, and I have several skeins of self-striping in these colors, including one I dyed myself, my Strawberry Pavlova self-striping. So I'm not sure why I bought that one. I enjoy the colors. Then the rest of the show and tell is things from the spooky box and presents from Sue. I showed you the project bag that hubby's sweater is in, and there was a notion pouch in the same fabric, and there is a second project bag with a notion pouch, and this is just Sally. And it's themed, and the notion pouch looks like that. And it's my favorite project bag that she makes. It's big enough for a sweater, and it's got a drawstring, and it's got handles. So I really love these. So now I can cast on another sweater to get, because I have enough project bags, and I'm going to use these all year, by the way. I don't care if they're Halloween, Christmas themed. It's Nightmare Before Christmas. So you tell me, is it Halloween themed or is it Christmas themed? I would say both. There was also, she has started to do English paper piecing, and I think you're supposed to put pots on these, but I don't want to do that. I want to use it for something special. Maybe to put a flower on or something. I could use it as a pot holder, but I'm afraid to get stains on it, basically. So, because it's really pretty. That's that. There was also some yarn in here. I'll show you the yarn. Another one of my other favorite self-striping dyers, also from Canada. Comfy Cozy Knits. And in case you were wondering about the theme, the colorway is called Sally with Burgundy Mini. So again, this box is themed. I think this is the only thing that's not related to Nightmare Before Christmas. Or no, sorry. I have one more thing that's related to Nightmare Before Christmas. It's this. And in here there's a lot of something that was in here that's not in here anymore, because sorry about that, that was my mobile phone. Some of the stuff that was in here I already started using, I think, and it's not here because I put it in a different tin. It's one of those row counter progress keepers, and it was really beautiful. We have this pin and a keychain, a key, I'm not sure what you call this. Can I call this a keychain? Anyway, it's themed. And from Alley Cat Yarns. A spooky cat. The rest are just stickers. And guess if they're themed or not. Because they are. And I'm going to put some of these on my water bottle. Probably. So that's that. And I was going to show you... I'll show you the last thing that was themed before I show you the rest two things. Because there's one more thing that's related to Nightmare Before Christmas. Look at this. It's difficult for you to see what it looks like because you don't have a neutral background. But it's a clock. And I think I know where to put it up. I haven't put a battery in it yet, so it's not working. It's made from a vinyl record, actually. One of those old-fashioned ones, you know. Or I think they're trendy again. I'm just checking if I'm recording. So I know where to hang this up. I'm just going to put the battery in and then get it up on the wall. But I needed to show it to you first. And then there's two more things in here. One is this notion pouch. I don't have to say that out loud, do I? And I have... I'm going to start using the notions pouches properly. I'm going to put them with the projects so that I have everything I need, because I have more than one measuring tape and more than one tiny scissor and everything. So why not put one in every project, in case I'm taking a project with me somewhere and I realize, where's my darning needle, I need to measure this, stuff like that. And the last skein of yarn is also a 50-gram skein. I think, yeah, it's a 50-gram mini. And it's from a homespun house. And she was on my bucket list of dyers I wanted to own a skein of yarn from. And now I do. Now I have a homespun yarn in my collection. That reminds me, I see it's lying here in front of me because there was one thing in this box that's not for me. It's for one of you. And it's these progress keepers. And it's and this, I decided that this is going to be, they're also from Sue, Craft Knitted 7. And these are going to be the price for the first comment I draw on YouTube that is not a picture of a finished object. Those are the price for that. The other prices will be project bags, yarn, stuff like that. And the price on Instagram is going to be a pattern on Ravelry. Up to $10, I think. I think it was $10, I decided. I think I'm going to stop there, because if I continue now, it's going to just be rambling, because I've told you what I was going to tell you, I've shown you what I was going to show you, and that means episode 109 is finished. And one more thing, in 2 weeks, Friday, in 2 weeks, I'm not going to record a podcast, because October 26th, I'm going to the hospital for surgery, and I can't imagine I want to record a podcast the day after my surgery. So I could, of course, record and put out the podcast Wednesday of that week, but I don't think I'm going to. So I've been thinking about it. Should I just start a jump and do 1 week? So it's 3 weeks until my next episode instead of 2 weeks, or should I just say that I do another podcast in a month? I haven't decided yet. But if you follow me on Instagram, I'll update you there. But I can say as much that Friday in 2 weeks there won't be a podcast. So either there will be a podcast episode before that, or there won't be an at all. And then I'm going to start editing this so I can get on with my day. And I hope you have a really nice weekend. And I'll see you when I see you for episode 110. Bye bye.